Live, local, late breaking. This is Newswatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6:30 on February 26th. Welcome to Newswatch 12 this morning. I'm Carlos Marietta. And right now, we're taking a live look out at Medford from the People's Bank on Biddle Road. And we first want to turn over to Storm Alert Weather 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress as you're waking up on your Thursday morning. And Sarah, would you say layers is the name of the game this morning?
Oh yeah, I've been talking about it all morning. It's definitely feeling a lot chillier than yesterday. Also, we're seeing some areas of fog. Big difference from the past couple of days though. It is dry starting out your morning. So here's a look out at South Medford. We can see some areas of fog development, not looking too dense into some spots. That's because of the layer of clouds we have streaming overhead for us this morning, but that is hindering that development. You'll notice in elsewhere, not really seeing visibility too bad, but definitely are some areas where we are going to be seeing that fog. So just take it slow this morning. You may encounter some spots. Here's where we're seeing those clouds streaming over, but good news, like I mentioned, it is dry this morning. So besides being dry and tracking some fog, it is rather cold outside. We're sitting at 40 for Medford, 39 in Grants Pass. Wairika, you're also at 39. East side though, 31 for Klamath Falls, 28 for Chiloquin, and Brookings sitting at 43. So about a 10-degree difference around most of the region today from yesterday. So this morning, dress like it's winter outside. Definitely going to be cold, but by the time you head into the afternoon, really not going to be feeling like winter. It's going to be feeling pretty mild and nice. We'll see a bit more sunshine into the mix. And here's a look at your highs across the region. We have 60 for Medford, over to Grants Pass at 59. Klamath Falls will be at 56, 61 for Brookings. Even Wairika trying for the 60s today. If you are heading out to Mount Ashland, it is going to be on the chillier side, but up in the mountains, that's not feeling too bad, about 44 for your high. We'll get updates on what that's looking like later throughout your morning, so make sure you check that before you head out. And also over to Mount Shasta Ski Park, it is going to be feeling pretty nice today. Now, as you head into the weekend, if you notice, Mount Ashland and Mount Shasta have the chance for rain into your Saturday and even some thunderstorms included. So I'll go into a bit more details what you could expect for your weekend coming up in just a bit.
Beginning with continuing coverage, Medford City Council is taking a closer look at plans for a new baseball stadium that could become the Eugene Emeralds' next home. City leaders met with the Eugene Emeralds owners and San Francisco Giants player development staff to discuss the proposed stadium at Hawthorne Park, which is all part of the larger Creekside Quarter project. Interim City Manager John Val says since the project went on the ballot, while City Council hasn't made any major decisions.
Now we're to a point that staff's at kind of a standstill, and it's time to get direction from council so we can determine our next steps and either, like I say, keep the project moving or sunset it. This effort is not an effort on baseball alone. What this effort is do we have an opportunity to put a facility potentially in the downtown? That's not a final decision, but do we have an opportunity to put a baseball facility downtown, have Major League Baseball play there, and that serves as a catalyst to help with major redevelopment of the downtown area.
After crunching the number between $86 million to build and $150 million and looking at directions for funding options, no final decisions have been made. Instead, they will continue looking at plans and documents to get a better idea of how the city would fund the project. We will continue to follow this discussion and update you when we know more. Moving into some developing news, Sherm's Thunderbird Markets, a Southern Oregon staple for decades, says it is looking for the right partner to take the company into its next chapter. In a statement, company leaders confirm all Sherm stores are up for sale as part of the succession plan. Owner Steve Alsrud, who has ran the company for nearly 30 years, is 78 years old and says the goal is to find a partner who will keep the stores operating just as they have since 1967. The company employs more than 500 people and says taking care of those workers is a priority. Leaders also stress it is business as usual and say they plan for Sherms to be around for the years to come. And a teen at Mazama High School was arrested after posting a threat on social media. School administrators say they learned about that potential threat around 5:30 p.m. yesterday. Police investigated and took the student into custody. School leaders say the campus will follow its regular schedule this morning. And we've been tracking Senate Bill 1599, the proposal to move a statewide transportation referendum to the May primary ballot. Oregon Secretary of State Tobias Reed recommended that the bill be signed by Governor Kotek yesterday in order for voter pamphlet language to be developed for the May primary election. And after delays in the Senate, the bill currently sits in the House on its second reading and will not make it to Kotek's desk until today at the earliest. Although yesterday's deadline was a recommendation and not a hard deadline, the Oregon Senate Republican leader says the bill should be considered dead. Moving into a money alert, the MJ Murdoch Charitable Trust is revealing its total numbers for fall 2025, which includes 112 grants to nonprofits across the Pacific Northwest, and 29 of those were to Oregon communities, totaling more than $7 million. These grants are meant to support nonprofits that remain creative and adaptive in how they serve communities. Here in Southern Oregon, Joe's Place Ministries and Grants Pass received $200,000 to support youth development in rural communities. Other Oregon nonprofits listed include Habitat for Community of Oregon, Volunteers of America Oregon, and the Oregon Health and Science University Foundation. And the Oregon House of Representatives has approved a bill rolling back 3 federal tax breaks, a move Democrats say is needed to protect Oregon's budget. Senate Bill 1507 disconnects Oregon from parts of the federal tax package known as H.R. 1. It ends a new tax deduction for car loan interest and limits how quickly businesses can write off equipment and remove certain stock-related tax breaks. Supporters say the changes could bring in more than $300 million over the next 2 years, helping fund schools and core services. Republicans argue it takes away relief families and businesses were expecting.
When Congress passed H.R. 1, named the Big Beautiful Bill, Oregon tax policy was changed, but without our vote.
We have schools that need to be open and roads that need to be able to function. We have fire and police that need to be able to respond. Government costs money.
The bill now heads to Governor Tina Kotek's desk and could face a referendum challenge if signed into law. And a new bipartisan bill was introduced aiming to boost exports of fruits, nuts, vegetables, and other specialty crops. The Specialty Crops Reporting on Opportunities and Promotion Act, or Specialty Crops Act, responds to continued high tariffs impacting rural communities and agricultural producers. The bill aims to update the U.S. Specialty Crops Trade Issues Report to highlight specific trade barriers and be made public. The bill is sponsored by senators from Oregon, Idaho, Washington, and California. And a major FDA recall across Oregon this morning, more than 55,000 pounds of blueberries have been recalled over concerns they could be contaminated with listeria. According to U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the Oregon Potato Company issued the recall earlier this month and has now been upgraded to a Class A1 recall, recall. That's the FDA's most serious level, meaning there is a risk of serious health consequences or even death. The blueberries were distributed in Oregon and several other states, but were not sold directly in retail stores. The concern is possible contamination with listeria, a bacteria that can cause serious illness. The FDA says anyone who believes they may have gotten sick should contact their healthcare provider or call the agency's food safety hotline. And moving into the School Watch, high school students in Medford are getting an up-close look at what it takes to work in healthcare. Newswatch 12, Danny Stepanovich got a first-hand look.
I'm here in a real hospital delivery room, but today, the patients aren't real. Part of the high school internship program, giving students hands-on experience in childbirth.
Growing up, I always liked to act kind of like a nurse with my siblings. So whenever anyone had a splinter or a cut or something, I loved helping out.
And that childhood instinct is starting to feel a lot more real.
Recently, I've been interested in the medical field, and it seems like nursing would be the best fit.
Maya's part of that internship between St. Mary's School and Providence Medford Medical Center.
Even though we've only been here for a little while, it seems really like something I would be interested in.
Students have rotated through different departments in the hospital, practicing hands-on skills all over the place.
These students are understanding different facets of healthcare, but they're also learning different skills that different positions do. It's been really awesome to see students just have a little spark when they do different skill sets.
For Maya, that spark happened while shadowing nurses in the ER.
It's more fast-paced, interesting because it's in the ER, so you get a wider variety of stuff that's coming in.
And that clarity is the exact goal. as officials say much of Southern Oregon's healthcare workforce nears retirement.
If we as a community can start impacting students with different career opportunities, especially in our largest healthcare sector, then hopefully we can grow our workforce development.
And for Maya, the experience is already shaping her future.
It feels really interesting, and I know that this is a very rare opportunity for high school students to be able to shadow people in the actual medical field. I'm very grateful for it because I feel like it'll help me make my decision for what I want to go into in college.
In Medford, Danny Stepanovich.
And community members and parents are rallying alongside Klamath Falls City School classified staff following concerns from a meeting last week. Classified staff say the school district has asked parents to volunteer to work in the event that classified staff strike. As negotiations begin between district administrators and classified staff, community members are rallying to demand a movement to be made. And we've been tracking construction at Medford Fire Station 15, and they placed a time capsule inside the station. In that capsule, firefighters included photos of the crews assigned to Station 15, a letter from Fire Chief, department memorabilia, and even an employee pay stub. They hope the capsule captures who they are, their mission, and their pride for a future generation of firefighters.